ne serait que la peau morte des émotions d'autrefois.
Sans toi, les émotions d'aujourd'hui ne seraient que la peau morte des émotions d'autrefois.
Pardon?
Sans toi, les émotions d'aujourd'hui ne seraient que la peau morte des émotions d'autrefois.
Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, if it is such a thing. It's a bit of an impromptu stream. Nice to see some fours in the chat, paying our respects for the legend that is CZ. I think it's one of those weird times in crypto where I bizarrely feel emotional about something that I shouldn't do. But it just feels like all of the old school are just gone. Slowly but surely. Trading view winner, good question, my friend. I've actually been out for most of the day, so unfortunately I've not picked a trading view winner due to what I can only describe as life circumstances. Bad sign, to be honest. Legitimately feels like someone's died. Yeah, it kind of does. It's genuinely a bit sad because I do believe, rightly or wrongly, obviously nobody really knows what goes on behind the scenes and all that kind of wonderful stuff, but I certainly feel like he was one of the good guys, quote unquote, and yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it, for the industry, because he was such a strong character and advocate, and obviously built Binance from the bottom up and so on and so forth. And that process, you know, proved himself quite a few times, I think. And yeah, it's going to be odd to see who takes over and what kind of regulatory and legal ramifications come of that. But, I mean, as long as number go up, I don't think people really care. Bad sign, to be honest. Good evening, Donny. Delta, how are you? Is that Delta, as in Delta XPT with a little anime PFP pic? Yes, it's a very strange day. What do we all think then? This is super bullish for the industry? Bearish? Somewhere in between? ETF approval straight to infinity? Ooh. Give me some divs. We rip after news. What news? You mean rip up? Switch Respira? Play my intro? I'll outro with the intro. Only because shake out bullish, I guess. Yeah, only because this is a bit impromptu, and I thought I was going to do it at 7, but I thought by the time we get to 7 o'clock, kind of some of the news would have blown over, and in amongst everything, there is actually things happening, and we might be able to snipe some lows and really think about what to get on for the next rotation, because the market is moving. It's been a bit wild today from what I've caught up with, but yeah, I basically caught a nice rotation on Bonk yesterday. and that was my last trade. A lovely rotation. It was one of those really, just fast trades where you just straight in and it goes fucking up only, doesn't come back to your entry. And glad I missed today because I probably would have got my ass handed to me. 7 is greater than 4 or less than 4. I don't get you, Thomas. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Are we all winning? Are we all taking lots of trades in this wonderful environment? Are we all enjoying the volatility on altcoins? Are we holding to infinity? Are we taking low time frame rotations? Staring at the 1 second chart, hoping for some mispricings? I'm good. Hush, 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 hush. Holding, I'm shit at trading. at least you know yourself, Donny. That's good. Not clicking as much just yet. Let's allocate to spot from a little lower and just waiting for more opportunities to add. Yes, sir, avoided the ATOR crash entirely. Yeah, I mean, ATOR's an interesting one. And I'll talk about that very briefly, because the levels are salt on CT. Like, if something doesn't pump 10%, 20% in a day, everyone seems to get bored and be like, oh, you're shilling this, you're shilling that. It's like, that's kind of what we all do on here. We all talk about our bags and hope somebody's going to buy it higher from us the majority of the time. Yes, okay, people short. Yes, okay, people intraday trade just against the books. But why am I so underrated? It's because I just chat shit mostly these days. And I don't post charts with free entries and do all that, because the one time some fucking idiot gets liquidated on a CPI candle print and a squiggle, you just go, why do I fucking bother? To be honest. And so you create a gated community of people that actually give a shit about that, and you do it there. That's kind of why. If I'm being brutally honest. Extremities trading in spot, I like that. Yeah, I like that, because there's a lot of volatility, and I think, I've said this in the group a few times, that a lot of people are like, oh, now's not the time to be trading, it's just the time to be holding spot, and I kind of disagree with that. I think if you want to be a trader, and you want to be trading low time frame rotations like the way that I do it, for example, like now's a great time to learn that, because you'll get rotations, you'll get quite a few of them. Now, I'm not saying like trading is easier than just holding in a uptrending market. I won't go so far as to say it's a full-blown ridiculous bull market, because I think bull market has connotations with 2021 where everyone just printed ridiculously. I still think that we're in a reasonably low attention economy of just those of us that stayed after the whole 2021 mania. But I'll happily be wrong. And I'll make a lot of money if I am wrong, but I'll also keep a lot of money if I'm right. So that's kind of how I'm positioned and think about these things. Yes, that's kind of a nice segue into, I guess, starting to look at the market. Alts have really shit the bed today, and it's not surprising with Bitcoin pulling back. And obviously we are in a fairly consistent regime of if Bitcoin starts moving, alts start going with it, particularly on the USDT pairs, which is what I personally trade. So trading alt momentum is low-hanging fruit. I mean, I personally think it is. Like, the one that I got yesterday was on the... So basically, Bonk has been massively high beta, and anyone who's been using my spaghetti template will see that I added it last week. I added it really late, right? And I'm just gonna publicly chastise myself, because the real Bonk beta kind of came from here, and I didn't really get into trading it until, what was it, like 0.0, basically 0.03 ish. So that kind of rotation there. So I was really late to the Bonk party, which sounds really bad when you say it out loud, doesn't it? Sounds like some sort of swingers club, but yeah, I caught whatever rotation it was last night, yesterday. Down here. Down here? No, that one. Yeah, that one there. That move. It was about a 10% move, I think. It doesn't look particularly wonderful. yesterday. Fuck me. Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with Boomer Charlie today. It's been a long one. What was that news? I thought it was 5:30. Yeah, there's that little rotation there. That was when when the initial news came out yesterday, and just the way it played out was just beautiful. It was literally the whole market was just. I've got the screenshots in the group somewhere. But Bonk just absolutely started flying, like it was up 2% basically before anything else even thought about moving. I didn't know what fucking day we're on. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I keep thinking it's Wednesday. Yeah, it was that there. It was that. So look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful in terms of rotation. Like, just, I was on the 1 second chart and just fired in along, like literally at the Pico lows, and just free money. If you see a div on the 3 hour but not visible on the 4 hour, do you execute it? It depends how much confluence there is, you know, if it's in the middle of nowhere. So if you're talking about like a 3 hour div, in terms of momentum, and there's a nice level of support, and it's sort of wicked under, reclaimed, something like that, then yeah, I could certainly be tempted, particularly if it's an in-play coin, or if it has some form of narrative behind it, like LDO, for example, being like ETH beta, if there's or Bonk being Sol beta, that kind of thing. Some might say absolutely bonkers. I'll get my coat. What a legend. That's a great joke. So yeah, I won't just arbitrarily take it. I don't like momentum divergences are great triggers to basically show you that a mean reversion play is, you know, higher probability. But obviously anything can just carry on going. But if you've got high time frame support, if you've got in play momentum in terms of, you know, altcoin beta and relative strength, like it's one of the worst performers, but it's starting to curl back, and actually what you get is that swing the other way when it starts gaining momentum. You know, you've got that relative beta to Bitcoin doing that instead of like this, and that always looks bad when I draw it, but yeah, that'll hopefully give you an idea of kind of how my brain works in terms of taking those kind of divergences or not, because I've been finding myself, like even just then, right, we drew, or I drew, not we, you didn't really do much, did you? Let's be honest, guys. A little divergence in terms of like 3 minute on BNB, and you know, 3 minutes not a time frame I necessarily like trading on. I don't often sit on the 3 minute chart, but when you've got something that says, well, actually there's a div on RSI, there's a div on Awesome Oscillator, typically these start playing out in terms of you know, a move, whether it's, so usually you get like a candle like this that just punishes, you know, the late shorters essentially, and whether that, you know, plays out to an actual change in momentum, or just dies off, you know, that's more often than not, you know, in strong moves. You'll see this kind of, well, particularly in uptrending conditions, you'll see this kind of, it might be slower than that, but yeah, this is obviously exceptional circumstances, being that this is the in-play coin of the day, with CZ, you know, why do I keep saying, you know, yeah, with CZ resigning, resigning, sounds a bit voluntary, doesn't it, let's be honest, but it's not really, is it, let's be honest. Look at this for wonderful price action. I'm very, very glad I had to step out today. That wouldn't have been a fun day for me. And that's because I'm predominantly long only. For anyone newer to the stream. So let's kind of go over, so what's next, and all of that. My thought process has been pretty similar for most of these streams. You know, we are in an uptrend. No one can kind of deny that. We have had a lot of good moves on altcoins in particular, with Bitcoin really not moving too much. We are starting to see a little bit of weakness in terms of Bitcoin momentum. So I always like to use the kind of 50 RSI as a bit of a proxy, and any form of divergences in momentum across like Awesome Oscillator and RSI, just kind of telling you what the chart already tells you, right? Both of these are price indicators, so they're all derived off this here. So if you have eyes and you have a brain, you can translate this into that. Not easily, obviously. This is just another way of putting that information. But you can see very visibly that we had a very strong up move, a bit of consolidation on an up move, and now we've kind of chopped around for a bit. So very strong momentum, not a strong momentum, kind of ranging. Now, I love these conditions because let's just move to a cleaner chart. I love these conditions because it just means that alts tend to go wild and rotations are great. What I don't like is when we start seeing, big rotations to the downside on BTC and alts start really losing. Come on, TradingView. Come on, you can do it. And alts really start dying, which naturally happens whenever Bitcoin sells off, and occasionally you get the free trade of the odd coin doing this and being really, really strong compared to the Bitcoin sell-off. I'm trying to think what did that on Thursday's Paragon stream. There was a coin that basically did not die off. I think it was WLD, actually. It was WLD that basically stayed flat while the rest of the market was under BTC in terms of percentage return, and that was basically a free rotation as soon as Bitcoin started catching a bit of a bid. But yeah, this is where I start getting a bit nervous, not in terms of long-term macro bear, fuck me, I'm capo now, it's going to 5k, sell everything and yada yada yada. Just in terms of, it doesn't take a genius to work out. High time frame support, simple market structure. Everyone's telling you that they can't wait to be incredibly rich in this next bull market. Now, again, I still think we're in an uptrend. We've been in an uptrend basically all year on BTC, and I think there's still the whole ETF catalyst potentially to come, but we are losing momentum. We aren't quite yet at that 50 level, so I think this kind of plan of alerts here, here, and here are really where I want to be participating in the next leg of Bitcoin, if there is one. I doubt we come to this high time frame support level if we are truly bullish, but that's kind of where the last stand of bulls will happen. If we start getting under here, then my alt rotations are probably going to be pretty fucked. It's going to become quite hard to trade large rotations again, because we have been blessed pretty consistently with rotations that are, plus or minus plus or minus like 10%. And sometimes you get 15, 20, 30% rotations. Bonks had some incredible moves. If you've caught some of those, it's been a wild market. WLD, fair, like so much, so many double-digit movers in a day, and they're the conditions where I personally believe if you trade like me, I'm saying trading, not holding and just bag holding spot, this is where you're active, and it will come to an end, right? It will come to an end. We tend to get these bursts and sort of fever of moves, and then we range for a bit, and then we sell off. And downtrends are much harder for me personally with alts, particularly because they sell off really, really quickly sometimes. But equally, some of the up moves can be completely punishing. So I find it harder to stay short than I do to be longing rotations. But that is just me personally. The next phase of mania, particularly if Bitcoin even approaches previous all-time highs. Like, we're still a way off that, right? Still a reasonable way off. But if you remember that classic meme of, you lost me? I'm here. You found me. Well done. Did that work? Am I back? F. I didn't say I've Fonza Safu. Yeah, I think so, my brother. I didn't say didn't say I dropped out. Oh, was it FUD? Ah, okay, pour that seed on you. Yeah. The ult that will change your life? Yeah, it was Luna. No, I was just seeing how many likes I can get, to be honest with you. Because I see people do that. And, I don't know. They got him back? What? Have I missed something? Why? I'm just going to move on. I'm going to move on from that. I was black screening for a moment. Oh, okay, cool. Right. Well, so yeah, my thought process was, you know, if we start even approaching all-time highs, like the mania is going to happen again, and oh my god, Bitcoin's broken all-time highs, and how high can it go, and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I've got spot BTC. I don't actually know what my average is, but my average is far, far lower than like 30k. It's somewhere down here. Like, it's pretty low. And it's a decent stack as well, so we will not be paying any form of income tax on that one. And, you know, if it does run up and we do get to the glorious 100k or something like that, which, you know, isn't totally out of the question. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying never, but you know, I'm not just going to balls to the wall in this little consolidation on the premise that we're going to hit 100k like every other Tom, Dick and Harry seems to think we are. But you know, slowly but surely is my thought process. Like I said, if you have missed all the bull run and you want to, you know, jump on board and get a position, you kind of have a couple of choices. You know, do you just join some meme diagonal trend and just go, okay, well, I'm going to try and force a long position in this, and if we lose this, or if we wick under it and then reclaim and start moving, you know, can you get on board there and take the loss there? What's your plan for getting on board? You know, my personal plan is exactly what I was talking about earlier, which is just pullbacks down to one or all of these levels and starting to see some form of demand come in. And again, if that happens while I'm asleep and I miss it, I miss it. Tough shit. Hey Charlie, what do you think of Blast? I think it's a big part of hot garbage for several reasons. One, I wasn't in the seed round, so obviously it's dog shit. Two, I think there's a lot of shit going around on crypto Twitter. You can't shill this, you can't partner with projects, you can't do this, you can't invest in something, you can't buy something off the open market and then talk about it. And the reality is, you know, you should be able to do all of those things as long as you disclose it and you're not an asshole about it. Like, just say no one really gives a fuck, you know. Like, look at how many all your favorite sports personalities partner with whoever. They've got it on their shirts. They're promoting things and people all the fucking time. You turn on an advert and you see the guy from a quiz show shilling shampoo. You know, you see all this stuff. It's fucking marketing. That's the world we live in. But whatever. It's fine to promote certain bits of crypto Twitter and crypto projects and not others, apparently. I basically turned on crypto Twitter this morning and was like, oh, for fuck's sake, more drama. Jesus Christ. People fucking crying about nothing as usual. But no, you know, I fully agree that you should disclose your positions, you should disclose your investments, you should disclose where you get better deals, because I do think that is, you know, one of the advantages, and I'll just be transparent with you guys, you know, it's an advantage of being a quote-unquote influencer and having a following. And, you know, you get that by having a following, and you presumably have a following because people want to listen to you and you spend a lot of time contributing in other ways to the community, whether that's through memes, whether that's through, you know, I suppose I used to put a lot of time in terms of threads, in terms of teachings, in terms of, you know, sharing my lessons and research and stuff like that. But, yeah, afford to pay respect. But yeah, you know, that's why it happens, and that's why you've got a voice in the space. So your opinion is worth something. And you know, it benefits projects if you work with them, and it benefits kind of should benefit you. But that's just my opinion, and obviously I'm biased. But whatever. I think there's a lot of stuff as well, and I mean, I took the attitude years ago. So in 2017, I got wrecked following people and blindly following people's calls, you know, into some illiquid dog shit with, you know, 5 Bitcoin. I was just stick 5 Bitcoin in there. Bang! Why is there a 50% green candle? Oh, that was fucking me. Oh, whoops. You know, and just thinking, oh well, this will be the next big thing, and then actually, you know, that big candle gets erased by the person who probably tweeted it, to be honest, and dumping their shitcoin straight on my head. And after you go through a cycle, you normally just go, well, I'm not going to trust anyone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take what people are saying, and I'm going to go, okay, I respect this person. That sounds interesting. I can see why they think that. Let's research a little bit more. Okay, I've come to the same conclusion that they have. Great, I'm going to start trusting their opinion a bit more. Or, ooh, fuck, they clearly haven't done their due diligence because XYZ. Do you know about this? Reach out to them. You'll probably start a good connection. Either saying, they will say, yeah, I know it's shit, but fuck it, it's money. In which case you can go, Jesus Christ. Or they'll say, no, I didn't. Fuck, thanks for pointing it out. And suddenly, you're friends. Do projects that allocate supply to influencers ever require the influencer not to disclose? Or is this usually solely on the influencer? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, to be honest. Because I think you can be... I mean, it depends on the terms in effectively the contract that you sign, if you sign anything indeed. So for some deals, or for some projects where you invest in, and there's, you know, this thing, I'm talking a bit random stuff here, but fuck it, let's talk about it. If you invest in like a seed round, as an example, you know, there's this blast thing, right? Those influencers, I don't know the terms, so I'm speculating, but they would have had to have signed, you know, sale agreement for tokens or SAFTs. They would have a contract that says you put up 10k, 50k, 100k, whatever your ticket size is, and you get X amount of tokens. There's usually like 5-10% on the TGE, which is the token generation event, and then the rest of it is vested over 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, whatever it might be. So you're only getting a very small amount over a long period of time. So people think that, oh wow, they got a really cheap price. Well, yes, they did, but the project has to last that long and it has to keep a good valuation for that long. And in crypto, 2 years is a fucking cycle. Like, it's fucking mental. You show me a single chart apart from stablecoins that has a similar price in a 2-year time window, right? Like, it's just... and that's the way that this works, and that's the way the real world works, right? That's the way fucking IPOs work and all that kind of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. There's more controls in that kind of environment, but let's not be naive to it, right? That is literally the way that the global capitalist economy works. But anyway, we've deviated. Best guys are Wiz and Sivo. Yeah, they are both fantastic fundamental analysts. They're both fantastic fundamental analysts. And like Sivo getting shit today for like ATOR. ATOR's up like fucking, or it was up like 50x or something. And then people are like, it dropped 50%. It's like, if you're up fucking 50x and you're not taking anything off the table, you're a fucking idiot. And you deserve every bit of, you know, minus 50% in your face. Every bit of it. But whatever. I'm going off on one today. As you can tell, life is short, so let's, you know, just tell it like it fucking is. So you think a lot of shills on Blast because they are getting good deals with referrals by using HS? No, I think a lot of the shills on Blast are two things. One, it's a lot of people with big followings invested in it, and it is kind of like a social gated token thing where, you know, you got to invite people. And then I think that people lower down the chain of following, etc., what they've done is they have cottoned on to the fact that basically these things, the way they work is the more people that get invited, the more points you get, but then you can invite more people, and then you start getting points. Then when you get points, you get a share of the tokens. So it's the same as kind of friend tech or the speculative thoughts around friend tech, and that's why people are getting on board, because if I shield you my Blast Reflink now and 20 of you signed up and then you all got 20 other people to sign up and etc, I'd be getting more points. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme, as Scarface says. Like it's just that constant like referral pyramid, but then it's the same shit that those people are saying Reflinks are bad, but sign up to this, deposit your ETH, leave it for 3 to 6 months or whatever the bridging period is. I don't know. There's basically a bridge in. You can't bridge out until January, February, so 3 months or whatever it is. There's just this constant fucking bullshit hypocrisy of crypto Twitter. You know, I mean, I get that as far as we know, there's nothing dodgy there. They're backed by Paradigm and so on, but yeah, I'm ranting today. I'm on my soapbox, so ask me whatever you want. Hey Charlie, is there a difference between signing up for Paragon through WOP versus sign up on the dock? The only difference is WOP gives you access today. Like literally you can just claim the role for your Discord, and with the document it's usually sent out on the 1st of the month. I say it is sent out on the 1st of the month, but if you want to do it that way because you want to pay with USDT or whatever instead of RapTETH, then you can do that. And there is a Black Friday deal on for like 3 and 6 months. Just a subtle chill there because you've asked, Diffie Hellman. How about Tau? Thoughts? I've actually got 0 thoughts on Tau, I'm afraid. Haven't even looked into it, I'll be honest. ATOR plummeted like Wi-Fi. I mean, it did take a pretty big haircut, but this is the problem, is that, you know, people are quite happy to ride these wonderful things up. You know, particularly like lower cap coins. You know, if you were buying it down at the lows, you're still up quite a few X's. Where are we at? 4.5x. Now I've got nothing to do with ATOR. I've not got a bag. Yada yada yada. Like Grok? Yeah. But, you know, the same way that these go 14x in however long. I don't know how many of you were around in 2018. Can I get an F in the chat from anyone who was in crypto in 2018? And if anyone knows what I'm about to say, jump in. But this reminds me very vividly of a chart. Might have even been 2019. Nobody? Oh, it's a couple. GRM, reload. Either of you, any ideas? BitConnect. Matic, Zen's got it. Yes! Zen, everything looked like that. Yeah, fair play, VBA. Yeah. Yes, it looks like Matic. So what happened was, and I remember it quite vividly for several reasons. One, CBS, to his credit, was short Matic from the highs up here. Like, let's pretend this was the Matic chart. And I think he said he messaged Sam to say there is not enough liquidity to get him out of his position. And it wasn't a particularly big, I mean, it was very big at the time, I think. But, you know, compared to sort of his size now, it wasn't. But there wasn't enough liquidity for him to actually exit the position at the lows. So he had to message Sam Bankman-Fried and say, can you fucking sort your shit exchange out, please? But yeah, this reminds me exactly of that, like a really, really strong move up and then basically minus whatever this is in a day. I think Matic actually went minus 90%, but yeah, minus 80% in a day. Yeah, that's fucking brutal. That's fucking brutal. Yeah, Yapstam. Everyone remembers Matic if you were here, and it was because it was basically all we were trading, and that was the only chart. That was the only chart for weeks. It was literally fucking weeks. Like, it wasn't over this period of time, right? This is, obviously months, but yeah, pretend this was like a 4-hour chart or something. What about Cacao as Rune Beater? I don't know Cacao, my friend, but Rune's been very good. Generally, I mean, obviously the entire market's taken a bit of a shit today, but Rune's been exceptionally strong. And I think this is the part that we're at now. Like, for me, looking at all of this and looking at like this rotation, DYDX. Yes, someone mentioned that in the chat. Well done. Bonk maintaining pretty high beta as well. Obviously, I've missed this rotation, but fuck it, I'm too tired and grumpy to trade anyway. I know my emotions. Bonk, pretty strong beta, kind of continues to be pretty high on my radar, to be honest. I probably would have longed that and got trapped anyway. But yeah, this is quite nice actually. I just think that if we do get that sell-off on BTC, then there's going to be plenty of higher time frame buying opportunities for altcoins, particularly stuff like LDO. I really want another pop LDO. I'm not going to lie, I think if we get, I've probably said that on most streams, if we get a bit of a pullback on BTC and we can get something around this pivot, then I'm going to be grabbing quite a large position of LDO. Lost a lot on COS. You know what that is? Imagine AI doing the wonderful thing of reminding us about shit cap or low caps as well. I spoke about this in the group on Thursday before the whole AI storm went. Up 74%. Down 27%. I mean, if that doesn't tell you the volatility of crypto trading. Sun next, yeah. I saw Pentoshi reply to him and say that he's next, and I kind of believe that. Charlie, where do you see the market in the next 2 to 3 months? I know you can, and I know no one can predict, but my best guess, my game plan. So my game plan is really simple. The game plan is really simple. It's long until wrong. I mean, we are in an uptrend. It doesn't matter. Like, zoom out. Zoom out as far as you fucking want to go. And I admit I was pretty bearish after the whole FTX, or before the whole FTX thing, and I could see us coming back down to these kind of levels. We never made it. We start with a monthly kind of time frame, right? And this is how I try and assess my bias. There's 2 ways I really kind of like to do it. Let's just do something like 21. Even like meme EMAs, right? Meme EMA crosses are quite good just for just bias. I mean, I know it's basically been fucking bearish since here, so that's probably a bit of a shit example. But on high time frame, month on Binance, probably bad because it doesn't go back far enough. But whatever. I start thinking about like monthly market structure. Like, monthly market structure is still good until it's not, right? And the big pivotal point for me is this. It's this line that I keep drawing across here. And as long as we're above that, I'll just remain bullish. And as long as we are kind of maintaining this market structure, I'll remain bullish. And I think that's the next big move for BTC, personally, is this. Oh, shite. If I had to guess, it would be this. And then I think we just kind of ebb and flow and kind of keep pushing for a while. But happy to be wrong. And this huge high time frame pivot really just acts as that kind of bar for me. Do I want to short this? No, I'm not I'm not brave enough to short BTC. There are better shorting opportunities in my opinion. And if you go to the weekly, it's a similar thought process, right? Here is that trend break. Your market structure is basically still intact. We have those equal lows here. We've got a higher high. There's kind of no major reason to be super bearish, I don't think. Yes, we are in an extreme of momentum. We have had similar in the past and then not done much after. Obviously, that was the COVID crash, which I doubt is going to happen again. He says, kind of bated breath, but I think the better short side opportunity is on ETH. And we went through it, like, let's delete some of my stuff and delete some of my classic brushwork. But ETH has still been shocking. I tweeted this the other day. I actually tweeted something like this. I think it was down to 1200. Something like that. That's why I tweeted at XO. But an ETH short at this high time frame pivotal level, this resistance that it just cannot break, whilst ETH BTC looks like utter dog shit. Why would you short Bitcoin when Bitcoin's kind of the in-play, on fleek coin, as the kids would probably say, and not take something on ETH? Now, I don't necessarily think that ETH is done and ETH is over and ETH's never going to have a run again, etc. But, you can't ignore the weakness. And if we do start seeing that rotation into ETH, then great. Happily flip long. Easily flip long here. And if you flip that pivot, you've kind of got to get pretty bullish on Ethereum. And I'm not saying that it's going to just yeet straight up to 6K, whatever. And to be honest, if you break the highs, you can start targeting something even sillier, right? Because it's very unlikely that we just test that high and fucking die off, right? That's where things start really getting wild when you break previous all-time highs. What typically happens is you get that euphoric push, you get a retest, and then you go. And that is one of the best setups for simple trend continuation bull market plays. But flipping bearish on a weak asset at a high time frame pivotal point that we failed to break through 3 times in a row. Although I think it was the second time. Not unreasonable, I didn't think. Especially if you are effectively just hedging positions because you're short on this, but you're longing rotations on double. Sounds like I can't lose. I do lose, just to be wrong. There you go, I'm already wrong. Just to kind of make the point of, don't get me wrong, I'm not a god tier trader that never loses. Far from it, I lose all the time. But I'm trying to plan for every eventuality of the market. Stupid bull run, how do I play it? Uptrend, but not too violent, how do I play it? Range, slow sell-off, and a massive capitulation. What am I doing in those 4? Now, obviously, like most people, I benefit the most from this and this. I can do pretty well in this. I will barely sort of cover things with this. And if we get a massive sell-off, there's a small chance I get lucky and get on side. But really, these two, for me personally and my trading style, are certainly not my favourite conditions to play in. Ranging is good because there's always the odd rotation to play. And obviously, uptrend and very strong uptrend are just kind of where everyone prints and everyone's a fucking genius, right? Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I'm not bearish on ETH, I'm not sat here going ETH's going to go to $5 or anything like that, but taking a sensible position at a sensible time is pretty reasonable. Chopping big time? What do you mean, mate? Oh, BNB. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's kind of... Oh, the stream's bad. What? What do you mean the stream's bad? No way. Restart Wi-Fi? Ah, brother. It's probably because I'm streaming to Twitch and to YouTube. I suppose what I need to do is just stop streaming to Twitch and just pick YouTube. You're getting every few words? What? No way, brother. No way. Must be YouTube's fault. I don't know if Twitch is better. No, they're saying that they've lost me a couple of times on Twitch as well. I only dropped once. Twitch Safu. Oh, so it's YouTube. Great. I'm not sure how I can change that while I am live streaming. How irritating. I do apologise. Stream is intermittent. Eek. Yeah, I don't really know what to do about that, boys. Sorry, I'm just seeing if I can change any sort of settings while we are live. But it's pretty much because you're live, you can't really change much. CZ and Bitcoin Charlie rugged in one. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, brothers. It's we're all rugged. But yeah, if you were trading BNB, you've probably not had much fun, unless you can actively trade both ways. But this is a good example actually on WLD of, you know, I obviously drew this on like an idiot because it was getting towards the end of my stream in the Paragon. But if you've literally got a kind of high time frame level that you can just establish a bias on, they are the easiest trades in my opinion. The like literal easiest trades. Oh shit, yeah, literally about 20 messages are just coming through. What the fuck is wrong with my stream stuff, man? Lower the resolution. It's chopping on Twitch. Okay, on YouTube. See, it's different people are saying different things. Yeah, I've got a very, well, supposedly good internet connection, but evidently not. So we'll try for next stream lowering the resolution a little bit and seeing. Maybe I'll test it on my gaming account and see if I can get it working properly. Yeah, you don't need 1440p on Twitch? No, probably not. 1080p is fine. Yeah, I think 1080p is probably alright. But anyway, apologies to anyone that we lost, and F in the chat for Fallen Brothers and CZ. Hopefully it'll improve because I've closed a load of stuff down. Yeah, things like ETC, again, like losing high time frame pivots, that's massive for me. Massive. I took a Doge trade the other day with pretty much 99% of Twitter, and usually I don't fall for the mass trade bait, but this time I did, and obviously the entire market sold off. So there you go. There's a big fat L that I made up for on my rotational play on Bonk. That was it. You know, again, thought process really simple. Massive high time frame pivot. The market transitioning to risk on, and we closed above just on, I think it was a 4 hour actually, or daily, that was it. daily. Pretty bullish candle structure in terms of streams become unwatchable. Fuck's sake. Today's just not my day, boys. It's really not.